Rana, and I'm here to tell you a few things before you go into your F8 exam. First of all, let's start off with the structure of the paper. So F8, there are two sections, Section A and Section B. In Section A, you would have 3 objective type questions. Now what that means is you'll be given a scenario. Based on the scenario, you will be given a few multiple choice questions to do. Now, there would be 5 questions for one objective type questions, and these 5 questions are going to be 2 marks each. So that way you're going to have 3 objective type questions totaling to 30 marks. Section B, you would have 1 30-mark question and 2 20-mark questions. The areas that are usually tested within Section B are audit risk. Now, usually when it comes to audit risk, how the question comes is you need to identify the audit risk. For the audit risk that you have identified, you need to come up with the auditor's response. Now, be a little careful. Don't just identify the audit risk. Make sure you go on and explain what the audit risk is. As in, go and talk about what is being understated, what is being overstated. So make sure that you go on and explain what the audit risk is. The other area that can be tested is controls. Now, how controls are tested usually is there would be a scenario. In the scenario, there would be deficiencies or there could be strengths. You would be asked to identify the deficiency or the strength. If it is a deficiency, you would have to put a control in place, and then what would the auditor do? That means how would the auditor test the control? You need to be aware of those cycles. Some of the cycles are the purchase cycle, the inventory cycle, the cash cycle, the revenue cycle. So there would be deficiencies in one or some of these cycles. You'd have to come up with a control and talk about what or how the auditor can test the control. Another area that can be tested is substantive procedures. Substantive procedures are very important, and this is one area that students find very, very difficult. So make sure you practice a lot of questions on substantive procedures. Again, some of the substantive procedures areas that you should be aware of is purchases, revenue, payroll. Another area that can be tested is going concern or subsequent events, along with which the examiner can ask audit reports. Audit reports are again important. They're tested in every sitting. Maybe it's not a 10-mark question, but it can be 4 marks. It can be within the multiple choice question. So make sure that you know audit reports properly. Now, within these Section B questions, you have these knowledge bits that can be tested. Not everything in F8 is going to be application. So the knowledge bits that you need to be aware of are, let's say, value for money or engagement letters. What are the components of engagement letters? Written representations, components of internal control systems, the roles and, the responsibilities of the auditors when it comes to prevention and detection of fraud and error. So these are just some of the areas. Make sure that you know all of this before you go into the exam, and I'm sure you guys have studied already, so make sure that you don't panic. There might be some things in the exam that you may not have seen before, but you would have. You just think that you would not have seen it because you might be a little nervous at that point. Just stay calm and answer the question, and I'm sure you will do really well. Good luck, everybody.